Meow meow meow. Everybody, I'm Cantonese cat. Hey everybody, thank you for coming back. I want to talk a little bit about crypto this weekend. It has usually the things that excites me are things that are correcting and having a little bit of a pullback. I generally don't like things when things go parabolic. And right now you can see this is the Ethereum chart. I mean, you also see that Bitcoin is, really pulling back here. The price has reached is a new all-time high here. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, this might be a little bit of a back test of the all-time high from previous, which is still pretty healthy price action on the weekly. And the week has, it's going to end on Sunday. I hope it doesn't give out this little bit like a toppy kind of candle here. But if it does, then so be it. If Bitcoin ends up correcting some of the levels down underneath of it, then it is what it is, right? I mean, you can't just have straight up going up forever. You are going to have eventually potentially having some pullbacks here and there. Some people think that maybe it reaches to like 70,000, 80,000 before going down. I still think it's a possibility it could just go down and test the 0.786 level, which is around 57,000 or so. And this would actually be in line with what my friend Tommy JR has been really kind of saying over the next couple of months or so before halving happens. Generally, you get a little bit of weakness come on right before the halving. And the other thing to kind of pay attention to is this is a very strong bull trend. This is the Ichimoku cloud for Bitcoin. It bounced from the cloud here, kind of back tested a little bit, found support, bounced all the way up, shot through a couple of Fibonacci retracement levels like a Swiss cheese, like it's nothing, and it just all of a sudden just hit all-time high, found rejection here. Now it's price kind of bouncing between this level over here. The further it is away from the support levels down here, and there are a couple of support levels down here that they're showing here. One is the Tenkan line, which is the red line right here. As you can see that it turned from resistance over here to support, and as it turned to support, it kept pushing the price up right here. And you also have a little bit of a delayed line here called the Kijun, which is demarcated by blue line right here. When the Kijun is above Tenkan, usually it's bearish. It basically shows you a little bit of a bearish trend over here. But when the Tenkan gets above the Kijun, you're really talking about a little bit of a bullish cross over here. And this bullish cross is very apparent, happened a couple months ago. And this bullish cross, together with the fact that both Kijun and Tenkan are really serving as support over here, both of those conditions really push price up further. And you can tell it just kind of slides through a couple of Fibonacci levels and went up to an all-time high here. So it's reasonable to have a little bit of a cool down because this price gets a little bit further away from Tenkan. Generally, there is a little bit of waiting period. It can go sideways a little bit to wait for a Tenkan to kind of catch up. And as you can see, like, if even over here, price went up, but eventually Tenkan kind of served, the monthly Tenkan kind of served a little bit as a magnet to kind of attract the price back down a little bit after going sideways for a few months, and eventually used that as a support level and bounce up. I think that it's possible Bitcoin could stay around here for a little bit longer before really going up further. Of course, there's no guarantee in life. Just like if you're looking over here, the Tenkan is still pretty far away, and the price just kind of went straight up, right? So who knows? Maybe the price over the next couple candles would drag the Tenkan up drastically, rather than having the price to wait for the monthly Tenkan to touch the price of service support. Maybe the price would just keep on going up and actually push the Tenkan up so far up that is actually just being support and going on a parabolic bull trend here. But it is a little bit further away from the Tenkan that I would like, and there's a possibility that it could end up cooling down because of that. And as you can see that price over here in the past too, when you have something drastically a little bit further away from the Tenkan over here, generally next month you might end up wicking down to test the Tenkan as support. Same thing over here, a big giant candle up, and then you have another candle up here. kind of like what we're seeing so far, isn't it? You have a big giant candle up last month, and this month we have kind of like a little bit of candles just kind of hanging out in space. I mean, granted, price action is dragging the Tenkan up, but there might be a candle perhaps the next month or so. It could just end up going sideways, or it can actually wick down and kind of test the Tenkan here. None of this is unreasonable. Same thing here. You have a big giant candle over here, and the next candle over here is just kind of hanging out in space, but you didn't like that. It went all the way wick down, tested Tenkan, found support, and bounced back up. Right. So it does make me wonder whether or not we're at a spot where things are just getting a little bit overextended, that we just pushed through two Fibonacci levels, and things could end up really cooling down a little bit, maybe until halving happens in mid-April before we really start to go up a lot higher after that. And also because of this huge up move right here, there could be a lot of funds that are being rotated around into altcoins, into other things, that Bitcoin might end up having a little bit of a cool down here for that to happen. I want to also, in addition to show you the Ichimoku cloud, also kind of show you the Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band is kind of telling you the same thing. Right now, price is way outside the upper Bollinger Band. And when it does that, it tends to want to get back closer to the Bollinger Band. Now, it doesn't have to do it this month. It can end up doing it next month. Kind of like how it is in previous cycles. As you can see, if the price gets a little bit above the upper Bollinger Band over the month or two, it tends to kind of drag below. So I wonder whether or not we're going to end up having a little bit of a wick to kind of touch the upper Bollinger Band. Maybe this month it'll be in space. Maybe, when we close, maybe we end up touching it and wicking, and then found support and bounce back up. Who knows? But right now we're a little bit far away from the upper Bollinger Band, even though it's expanding, showing you that this is a pre-parabolic bull trend. That's probably going to be continuing, but I do want to maybe see it find a little bit more support before it's continue to go up on this parabolic bull run. So that's one thought. The other thought would be, in addition to look at Bitcoin, if you also look at the Ethereum chart here, I think the Ethereum chart also is telling you a lot of information that you need to know. The Ethereum chart over here is telling you that price is also gone way far above the upper Bollinger Band, and right now it is getting rejected from the 0.786 level. And what the crap is that? Sorry about that. It's getting rejected from the 0.786 level, which is around 4,000. It's just simply moved way too far, way too fast, and needed to cool down a little bit. And the candle opened at the 0.618 level. So presumably it can end up spending about next month or two, or between the 3,300 to 4,000 around here, and wait for this Bollinger Band to kind of expand up further before going up. But there's no doubt in my mind that this is bull trend, because the very, very nice expansion of the Bollinger Band, and also up curling 20-month moving average. If you look at the Ichimoku cloud, you also see that you also had a very, very nice Tenkan Kitchen cross. You also see that the Tenkan has served as very, very nice support, which has been pushing price up. Actually pushed the price right through the Ichimoku cloud. The Ichimoku cloud actually, originally I thought that was going to serve a little bit as a resistance, but it kind of just slides through it like Swiss cheese. So I'm not ruling out that price could actually go back down and test the top of the Ichimoku cloud. And if that happens, I would love it, because I'm still trying to accumulate some Ethereum as long as price is under 4,000. I think once price gets about 4,000, the risk-reward ratio gets a little bit less attractive to me, and I'm actually end up not doing that. I might end up going to some other, maybe some small cap altcoins or some other things. But as long as price is under 4,000, I still like to accumulate more Ethereum. So presumably I can still see it kind of come back down, test the top of the Ichimoku cloud around 28,000. And it's kind of nice confluence to where the top of the cloud is kind of close to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So I could potentially see it kind of bouncing around range here for a month or two, and potentially see Ethereum kind of bounce down and go up further. With Ethereum getting resistance going down, You would think that a lot of the altcoins are going to correct a lot more, and they have, but the very fact that this pretty big parabolic move right here that it made last month have allowed a lot of altcoins to have a pretty significant candle. For example, just looking at Doge, I mean, it really had a pretty big breakout here on the monthly, and you just got a bullish Tenkan Kijun cross here, which suggests that most likely there's going to be some big bullish continuation. I think it's going to hit the cloud over the next couple of months, and I think it's going to do some pretty crazy things if Bitcoin is an indication that there's liquidity coming into the system, into the crypto space. So this is just a quick kind of update thoughts on Bitcoin in terms of short-term price action. I still think that this is a pretty parabolic bull trend that's going to probably continue over the next 12 to 18 months. The part of the reason why I say that is once you have this kind of bullish Tenkan Kijun cross, usually the uptrend goes on for at least 12 months or so. This is when it happened last, and it went up pretty far, and you never really got a bullish cross over here. Price got rejected as a result, right? But when you actually have the bullish cross, you get about at least 12 months. And the cycle before that, when you get a bullish cross over here of the Tenkan getting over Kijun, Tenkan serves as support and push price up for like about 18 months or so. You're really talking about a cross happening in May 2016, and the end of this pull trend was around December 2017, so about 18, 19 months. I think they were still early. I think that we still have plenty of room to kind of push up further. So I'm not really going to worry about these kind of fluctuations. And even if the Bitcoin miners are going to end up having a lot of correction because Bitcoin end up having to correct to wait for the Tenkan to go up or wait for it to kind of stay within the Bollinger Band, I still think that it's more short-term stuff that's going to happen over the next few weeks or a couple of months. I still think that overall, if you give it enough time, the bull trend of Bitcoin most likely will continue. And there's a good chance that the miners are going to make a lot of money after all the halving, fear, uncertainty, and doubts are over. After the small cap index, IWM, Russell 2000 start to make all-time highs, which really would spike up the euphoria in the market. Until that happens, I'm not too worried about the short-term price action. If anything, I'm just glad to be able to keep buying at this range, both in terms of Ethereum and even silly things like Dogecoin, which looks like they're gonna hey buddy, looks like they're gonna have a little bit of a breakout here. So those are just my quick thoughts on Bitcoin and little thoughts about Ethereum. I'm not going to talk too much more about the altcoins. I see if I can make a little separate video. I don't think people are really going to watch my videos about altcoins anyway, but if I have time this weekend, I'm going to talk a little bit more about altcoins and things like that. But those are my Bitcoin thoughts. They really haven't changed all that much from last time when I was talking about it. So I just want to give you an update, which is no update. Sometimes I think people want to hear that because I generally provide a little bit more of a calming presence. I don't like to hype things up too much, even though I do draw some big arrows and things like that on X sometimes. But in general, I'm more trying to be the cat that is a little bit more calm, showing you more long-term thoughts. I also have a day job, so I can't just do day trading, trade in and out of these small moves. I'm not really that interested in doing that. I just want to try to find good entries and try to let you know that when things happen, they are expected. I'm not scared. And to have a longer term mindset. This is what I'm kind of about. And if you're looking for trade ideas, if I have to help you for short-term trades based on what you're seeing, what I'm doing, that's great. That's not my intention at all. I'm just here to share my thoughts. I'm just here to show you these pretty pictures. I'm glad that somebody actually wants to listen to this stuff. Very happy to have you. Anyway, it's been 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.